Hello, welcome to the Daily Trudge Rock and Roll Edition. We're going to call it, if this works out, we're going to call it Rock and Roll Recovery. And it's where I will be taking everyday songs and turning them into recovery. We talk about things. We'll see how well this goes. It'll probably get cut. I don't know where I'm supposed to put that I do not own the copyrights to any songs. It is Saturday. Saturday is usually my lowest day. Tried to do a little bit earlier today. See if I could try to catch people. So we will see how this works. I don't even think I've read the daily reflection today. No, I haven't. Let's see what it's about. It is June 21st. Fear and faith. A lot of fear. All right. The achievement of freedom from fear is a lifetime undertaking, one that can never be wholly completed. When under heavy attack, acute illness, or in other conditions of serious insecurity, we shall all react to this emotion, well or badly, as the case may be. Only the self-deceived will claim perfect freedom from fear. How are we going to grow if we don't have fears to kind of overcome in life? All right, take your problems, turn them into opportunities. That's as Bill sees it, page 263. Fear has caused suffering when I could have had more faith. Yep. Whenever I go to a fear meeting, people talk about their fears, things, but the one thing people hardly ever bring up is the solution to their fear. And the solution to your fear is God. That is the solution. God is now the solution. Right? Put your trust and faith in your higher power, and the result is courage. Result is courage. I'm fixing my shirt here because it makes it look like I'm getting ready to join a porno or something. Right? And just when I'm experiencing feelings of joy, happiness, and lightheartedness, faith in the feeling of self-worth toward a higher power helps me endure tragedy and ecstasy. When I choose to give all my fears over the higher power, I will be free. Good morning, Amber. I kind of figured if somebody was going to show up, it'd be you. Trying something a little different. What I'm going to start doing, one of the ideas, we're going to see how this works. I'm going to take the lyrics to well-known songs, and we're going to talk about, because there's a lot of songs about mental health, mental illness, recovery. The ones I will not be covering are songs that talk about when we used to drink and when we used to do drugs and things like that. Those are the ones that I will not be covering. So I won't be doing any Jelly Roll. Don't get me wrong, Jelly Roll is a great artist, but all the songs are about, well, drinking and drugging. So we already know what that's like. Welcome to Daily Trudge, our first edition of Rock and Roll Recovery. I came up with all of this morning. I'm just trying it. It's probably going to fail badly, but what we just talked about, we talked about working through our fears, did we not? Yes, we did. So I'm going to trust in God. He's going to give me the right words for all this. If you're here, please say hello. There's a good chance there will be singing going on. let's at least let's try it this way, right? All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna play a little bit of it so that you know what song I'm talking about. You know what song I'm talking about now? All right. I play any more than that, and my video is gonna get cut. So We're not going to do that. Amber says, was wrapping a gift that Scott's aunt sent him for his B-day. I opened it and wrapped every piece in duct tape and some in wrapping paper and then put it all in the Amazon bag. Put it all back in the Amazon box and then wrap the Amazon box. There you go. Now, nothing like the good old duct tape trick. It's when you buy something really small and you just keep duct taping and duct taping. So my second wife and her brother used to do that. All right. So the problem is I kind of got to hear the song in my head first. So we're trying to do this, right? So we're going to work with the lyrics. I'm nervous, but we're going to try it. All right. So it starts out, hey, don't write yourself off yet. I'm going to go with the cadence, but I'm probably not going to, well, I'll probably sing some parts, we'll say. So, hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. So what are we talking about? Self-esteem. All right. All right. So self-esteem. Amber says, I don't have the patience like my stepmom. She does layers and layers. You know what you do? Not duct tape it, and then he'll be surprised. He'll be waiting on the duct tape. But if you do it every time, I think he's going to know. All right. It's still fun to mess with people. He's just going to pull out his knife. I don't know Scott well, but I know well enough that he probably carries around some kind of knife on him. Not for protection, just because he needs it all the time. All right. So don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out. For me, that's kind of sounds like some paranoia, but I do understand it. I have felt left out most of my life. I have felt a part of a lot of things. I always felt like I missed out on things. Right? Like the piccolo. I was so pissed I didn't get to play the piccolo. I wanted to play it. Right? So when I was 9, we moved from Utah to Colorado. Well, in Utah, you played or the recorder, not the piccolo, right? It's pretty much the same thing. But so in Utah, you got to play the recorder in 5th grade. Well, when I moved here, I was just going into 5th grade. In Colorado, you played it in the 4th grade. So I missed out on it. Wasn't able to do it. I've always missed things by that much, just a little bit. Things have always just kind of been a little bit off. So it's only in your head that you feel left out. Just try your best. Do everything you can. And don't worry what they tell themselves when you're away. Don't worry about what people are saying behind your back. Amber says, I didn't get to play it either if it makes you feel better. A little. I'll have to admit, a little. All right. People didn't really like this. I thought this would be all right. So you're going to try your best. You're going to do everything you can. Don't worry about what people are saying. You don't have to worry about that part. What people have to say behind your back really isn't your business. Really is not your business. I'll give you a key. I'll give you a little hint. If you were talking to somebody and they're talking shit about somebody else to you, they are talking shit about you. There you go. Now you know. I guarantee you, as soon as you turn your back, you're next. You're just next on the list. Then whoever they talk to next will be on the list, whoever is absentee, and it just continues on. It's how they live their life. Don't worry, you won't be the topic of you won't be the topic when the next person comes along. You'll just be the topic of that next person. Okay? So it just takes some time. Little girl, you're in the middle of the ride. Everything will be just fine. Everything will be all right. All right. Amber says being bullied helped. One thing, I don't care what most people think or say to me, especially if it's behind my back. If they say it to my face, they at least have the balls. That's what I go with. I'm the same way. People don't really confront me, or when they do, they're full of fear, and then they confront me to find out that I'm actually pretty open-minded. If you approach me and you have concern, you know what goes through my head? This person gives a fuck enough to say something to me. Unless it's name calling, and then, you know. Are you just going to follow me all around all day, Sawyer? Say it. I'm talking to you. Whatever. Hey, they're all the same. You're doing better on your own, so don't buy in. It is better to be alone than to be misunderstood. That's what I found. All right. But you don't have to be misunderstood anymore. That's what the AA program is for us alcoholics. You don't have to do that anymore. But I would much rather keep my loneliness to myself than explain it to somebody who might misunderstand my loneliness. You want to know why? Because it makes me feel more lonely. It makes me feel more separated. All right. So live right now. Yeah, just be yourself. It doesn't matter if you're good enough for someone else. Right? Well, maybe if I just change, the good she'll love me. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I do that. No, just be yourself and the right people will come along. Yes, including that person that you want to be your forever person. Absolutely. They will come along too. Happened to me. Happened to me. We got to turn the AC on. It's already warm in here. I don't know that it's actually necessarily warm in here as much as it is that I'm nervous because this is just weird and I don't. So I'm going to skip the choruses because we've already covered the choruses. All right. Hey, don't write yourself off yet. It's only in your head you feel left out or looked down on. Just do your best, do everything you can, and don't worry about what the bitter hearts are gonna say. Man, that was really short. All right. We don't have to worry about we don't have to What's the best way to put it? Well, if we're working on self-esteem, then it needs to be self-esteem, right? You don't have to worry about things like people showing up to your live and leaving pretty abruptly because they don't like what you're saying. You don't have to worry about that stuff. It's happening right now, right? If I'm worried about grabbing everybody else's attention, if I'm worried about likes and loves and getting what I need from other people, I'm gonna have a problem, especially an alcoholic who takes things to the extreme. Eric says, I was just listening to that song yesterday on Blink 182 Pandora. Pandora radio. I've had it since you could have music on phones. That's how long I've had Pandora. Whenever Pandora started, I still have Pandora. They're still begging me to buy their stuff. I'm like, I'll listen to a stupid 15-second commercial. I don't give a fuck. Everything, all my other stuff I pay for. When did Pandora open for business?
1982, Copenhagen, Denmark.
Oh, that's the wrong. That's Pandora the jewelry. I'm like 1982. I was 12. When did Pandora the music service go into business? 2005. Streaming to the public in 2005. So about 20 years I've had it. Yeah, I didn't realize it'd been that long. But 2005, I don't know if I had a phone good enough. Whenever the smartphones started coming out, there's no way I've had it for 20 years. I've had it the whole time I've been together with Shannon. That's 14 years. Am I calling you old? I'm like, I'm old enough to be your fucking father, Amber. I'm certainly not calling you old. So the song, what it's talking about essentially is don't listen to the shit talkers, man. You know what shit talkers do? They talk shit, man. It's their job. No, we don't need to join in on this, do we? Right? Even in AA, we got to be very, very careful. Let's say I call Amber because I'm having a problem with somebody, right? And and I'm going to list off all the things that they kind of did to piss me off, or why I'm angry. I'm going to list my feelings, but the conversation isn't going to be about that person. The conversation is going to be about what Dion needs to change in order to be a better person. So you got to take responsibility for a few things. This will lead to your complete freedom. And it was one of the hardest fucking things. One of the hardest fucking things I ever did. Amber says, my daddy's younger than you. And I'm old enough to be your almost grandfather. I had my kids kind of young. Well, my daughter, I was about 30, 28, I think 28, 29 when she was born. Right. So, what are the things that we need to be responsible for? For some of you, this will be a repeat. Okay. And I repeat myself here often, is because we need to hear it over and over again. Number one, I got to be responsible for my actions. We know that. Fourth and fifth step, right? Then I have to be responsible for my feelings. We all know that. And I hate saying it, but it's true. I still wish it wasn't true, but it is. But feelings just aren't facts. They do not take the facts into account of what is actually going on. Feelings are, however, valid. Right? They're not facts, but they are valid. What's the next thing that we need to be responsible for? Our triggers. Right? Amber says I was enough birth control. My dad didn't have kids for another 10 to 15 years. Right? It's what I would call a deterrent. But he still gave in again. I'm 54. So no, I'm not very much older than him at all. Told you, I'm all right. Means he was born in 72. He's the same age as my wife. Same age as my wife. Gen X, rule the world. Gen X, Gen X. Right. So here's the thing. I have found that the less I talk shit about people, the less shit is talked about me. Because I'm just not a part of it. Oh, that's funny, Amber. Amber says, fuck your feelings. All right. Fuck my feelings. Fuck a man. Not picking up Facebook. That's weird, Michelle. You were on. Oh, you're on Facebook. Okay. So we had two people on YouTube. Don't bother showing up if you're not going to stick around. I don't want to be, you know, I ain't your side piece. He was born in 73. Okay, I was close. Give or take a year, huh? So we're probably not going to do something like this again. It didn't quite work out. And that is okay. Tried something new. Um, I'm probably still going to do it here and there. There's a lot of songs out there, actually. You know, Amber says, I've had to tell a few sponsees, fuck your feelings in a nicer way. I don't know how much nicer you get than that. I mean, all right. So let's go to a date of time reflection. We already did today's daily reflection from the daily reflection. But I'm going to give this one I do pass or fail, but I'm going to give the topic itself a fail because I just didn't have much to say on it. But you know, I listen to a lot of different kind of music, you know, so I might try it again. You folks let me know what you think, how it turned out. But maybe what I could do is do the daily reflection and then do whatever song I'm covering and then end it with like a Jerry Springer kind of a wrap up. Call it rock and roll recovery. Are we in? Are we in? Maybe if I did more singing, people would stay because they just want to hear my lovely voice. I don't have a bad singing voice. It's all right. I mean, I'm not awesome. I'm not like fucking, you know, Chris Cordell or something or Chester Bennington or any of those guys, but I can hold a note. All right, so June 21st, reflection for the day. Direct is a key word in the ninth step. It sure is. It is one of the many words in the ninth step. Um, that'd be cool, Amber. Just let me know what song it is. Yeah. There's a lot of songs out there about what we do and connection. And so it'd be kind of, I think that would be cool. Yeah. Maybe if somebody else was in on the conversation, that's a good point. Maybe when I do the rock and roll recovery, I can have somebody pick a song and then they got to come on with me. Yeah. I'm trying to change it around here a little bit because it's getting kind of stale for me, which means it's got to be getting stale for you. And I can tell because half the people that were coming here 2 weeks ago are not coming. So something got kind of stale. It's what happens when I go through a week of anger. People get turned off for a little bit. I can understand why. So, ninth step, made direct amends to such people wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. I want you to keep in mind about something. You are an other. You are an other. Okay. You do not need to go make amends to your abusers. You do not need to do that. Oh, you want to talk about AC/DC big balls? I'm actually willing to sit down and do that one. Fuck those people. My balls are always bouncing to the left and to the right. But it's my belief that my big balls should be out every night. Oh, we've got big balls. Oh, we've got big balls. We're talking about ballroom dancing, by the way. Yeah. You sick, sick people. All right. So, but when I don't think we've even really talked about recovery in this one, maybe for about 3 minutes while I did the song, right? So, all right. Direct is a key word in the ninth step. There are times, unfortunately, when many of us are as hopeful that indirect amends will suffice. No, we cannot do that. We cannot, um, that indirect amends will suffice. No, now I said what I said, but that doesn't mean we need to make excuses for not doing the ninth step. We cannot make excuses for doing that. Okay. The ninth step should be generous and thoughtful. Okay. What is, what are we doing? We are making an amends. What is an amends? Amends means changed behavior. You are bringing what you did to justice. And that choice in and of itself has healing properties. This is not about forgiveness. You've already been forgiven. That's why you can make an amend. Now, are you trying to be forgiven by the other person? In a sense, is there anything that I can do that will, help you forgive me? Maybe they can never forgive you. Is that on you now? No, it is not. It's not your problem anymore. Yeah. Ah, that's what I was waiting on. You guys probably saw me like messing with my jaw. It needed to pop. Ah. Amber says, fuck, man. Recovery, either you do it or you don't. It's a program for people that do it, not for people that want it or need it. I was just explaining that to somebody on the internet, saying how they can make that they can convince people. I'm like, they think they're God, is what they do, right? So, who is the ninth step for? This whole program's for you. Every step you take, every little step you take, God will be there. Every little move you make, all right? He's going to be there. Whether you decide to bring him in with you is your choice. Your choice. All right? So the principle behind step 9 is justice. Yeah. Because the only true amend is change behavior. It's the only one. There is no other amend. Yeah. A mumbling sorry isn't going to fill the bill anymore. Sorry doesn't fill the bill. Sorry is for the moment. Sorry is for the moment. Okay. So even in the moment, you know what? I'm angry about something and I took it out on you. I see that and I'm sorry. I will do the best to not do that anymore. Amber, you're just on a roll. You sure you just don't want to join? So Amber says, who's the dude that sees you in the nude? And then she says her husband. She says, Scott. Scott better not be looking at me in the nude. But he sees Amber in the nude, right? Bobby, yeah. Little Bobby Brown. Hey, Neil. Good to see you, man. Good to see you, Neil. I already did Middle by Jimmy Eat World. It didn't go very well. So, but it's good to have you, man. But I remember, yeah. Yeah, that was little Bobby Brown, man. Be amazed at what I know. Like, I think everybody's like that now, though. When I was growing up, everybody was like, "Oh, it's country or rock and roll." It was division. It was division. It was always division, right? Now people are like, "I like all kinds of music," and you should. You should like all kinds of music, man. The only ones that I don't listen, really the only music that I don't really listen to is I'm not a huge country fan. I do like some country. Um, um, and that hardcore rap. I just I just can't get into it. If there's a lot of N word in it, I don't get to sing along, so why would I want to listen to it? I'm not allowed to say that word. I just don't like it. Some, some hmm, mariachi music, yeah, polka music, no thanks. But all of that, but I will agree with one thing. All that takes a lot of talent. So, all right. So there are times, unfortunately, when many of us hopeful, indirect will suffice, sparing us the pain and supposed humiliation of approaching people in person, telling them of our wrong. The embarrassing part's over with. You don't need to be embarrassed anymore. As God's children, we stand on our own 2 feet. If for you will feel that way if forgiveness has not happened. God, forgive yourself in that 5th step, man. What do you think it's about? What do you think it's about, man? Why'd you do your 5th step? The whole reason we do the 4th and 5th step is for forgiveness from our higher power. That's the reason. That's why I did it. Clear myself of all the bullshit that was standing in between me and my higher power, man. So I could be a better effectiveness to God and the world around me. Well, as God's children, we stand on our own 2 feet. Now fucking put your chin up. Hold your head up high. Go in there. Get it taken care of. Right. Ever since I've been listening to even country, I'm so spiritually for these days. I like Pink and country for the first time in forever. Taylor Swift, nope, never. Yeah. Well, you said spiritual, not I'm breaking up with a boy who broke my heart again. All right. So Pink's I'm not huge into Pink. But she's a great talent. She's a really great talent. I have to admit, and I was drunk the first time I saw one of her music videos. I thought she was a man. I didn't, wasn't trying to be judgmental. I just thought she was a man. So, you know, maybe it was just the way that she was. Maybe it was because of the video. I don't know. Because from then on, I was like, how did I think she was a man? So I don't know. Maybe it was because I was drunk. So we will want to avoid the supposed humiliation. The humiliation, yeah. Not Pink the artist, like the color. I like Pink and country for the first time in forever. Now you're just being contradictory, you little shit. All right. This is evasion and will never give us a true sense of breaking the wrongdoings of the past. It shows that we're still trying to defend something that isn't worth defending, hanging on to to conduct that we ought to abandon. The usual reasons for sidestepping direct amends are pride and fear. Well, then put fear on your fear list. Then put the 9th step on your fear list and work through it. Ask God for the right words. Try that for a little while. Try going to a meeting, asking the God for the right words, and watch what comes out of your mouth. Watch. Be a vessel for God. Do that a couple of times, and then you will understand. See, I do it a lot, especially here. Before I come on, I ask God for the right words. Doesn't always work, but most of the time it does. Most of the time it does. Right? As I make amends to others, do I realize that the real lasting benefits accrue to me? Now, you're the one that's getting the benefit out of this. The 12 steps are very selfish, but they're a good selfish. That's why it works for me. I'm a selfish person. I am. That part's not going to go away. It is a part of my makeup. It's what I'm selfish about that counts. There we go. It's just making the switch, right? Sober, any reason. Recovery, you have to do for yourself or it will not work. If you do that part for somebody else, doesn't matter who it is, how much you love them. No. If you love them that much, that means you love yourself that much and you understand that you're worth the change. You're worth the change. And change is uncomfortable. But so is detoxing from alcohol. Would you rather detox from alcohol or would you rather be uncomfortable for 5 minutes because you're telling somebody the truth? Which one do you want? Pick your heart, man. You have that choice today. And it is only by the grace of God that it has happened. It is the only reason. Right? The everything, it's funny because like my therapist is just now starting to understand. She's like, you know, why don't you do things for yourself? I'm like, everything I do is for me. Everything I do is for me, including the lives. Right? All right, let's get back to a little bit of chat here, which is entirely off topic. Now we're talking about Pink, the artist. Amber says, I like some of Pink's shit, but not much because she looks like a man. Short hair, buff, sharp, pointy nose. I also look like a man with short hair. Yeah. I've also mistaken men with long hair for women. It just happens all the time, right? When I did phone work, sometimes I'd be talking to somebody. I'm like, hello, sir. Do I sound like a sir to you? I mean, do you really want me to answer that question? I called you sir. And I apologize for. I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, that's on me, and I'll make sure I correct it. But if you want to keep going on with that, okay. I remember this is when I was a drummer, and I was talking to this guy. I ended up joining their band, right? I was on the phone with him for 2 hours. For the first hour, I thought he was a girl. I thought he was a girl. No, he just had a really high voice. Then you would think he was gay. No, but he was a womanizer. Actually, I think he was into boys too. Just not me. I must have not been his type. I don't care. I've had a lot of gay people hit on me. It doesn't bother me. I'm just like, can't touch this. Oh, you better put a ring on it. You want a piece of this? You better put a ring on it. I'll joke around with that shit. Don't bother me. All right? I'm okay in my manhood, man. That's never really been a problem for me. Today I pray, may I sure that the best reward for coming on straight as I try to repair my damages, after all, my own. But may I avoid making amends purely for my own benefit, to be forgiven, to be reinstated, to flaunt the new me. Yeah, we got it, and I appreciate that they're saying this. All right. It is selfish, but it isn't just for my benefit. That's where my selfishness has changed. Now my selfishness thinks of everybody before I do something. Yep. My granddaughters learned that lesson this morning when they woke my ass up way too early. Yeah. Well, upstairs, started playing it. Boom, boom, boom. Woke me up. I went upstairs. I'm like, you guys got to think of other people. I've been kind of straightforward a little bit more lately. It isn't until I don't know what it is, but if I lower my voice and I tell you something, people are usually like, yeah, okay, okay. Just don't yell, please. Just don't yell. About an hour later, I said, what did we girls learn this morning? Don't wake up Grandpa. All right. Well, when they're over, I get up like two, three, sometimes four, five times, middle of the night. I wake up and because I go check on them. Uh, I've always been that way when the kids are here. So, okay. To be forgiven, to be reinstated, to flaunt the new me. Yes, we can't go walking in there saying, look at me. Look how high I can jump. I got new shoes. I can run really fast. You should see. Because that's what it sounds like when we do that. We can't be bragging. Oh, I help people all the time now, and I do this and I do that. And no, it's not what we're there for. Ego puffing and people pleasing are not part of the real new me. God save me from opportunism. Today I'll remember no puffery. Oh, people pleasing, people pleasing, people pleasing, people pleasing, people pleasing. I stim. If people don't know by now, I do a lot of stimming. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great sober Saturday. Next time we come on, it'll be Amber and I doing Big Balls by AC/DC. It should be interesting. I'm kidding. But if somebody does want to pick a legit song that we can talk about and bring it and do it, I think that'd be awesome. But I think you're right. If we do it that way, there's got to be two people. I think. Otherwise, there's no discussion about it. It's just me, right? So, yeah. I think when we do that, it's got to be two people. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out and have a day.